scope and size of the universe is mysterious even to the most experienced scientists, but every day we are learning more and more about the final frontier. Space exploration is amongst the most intriguing things to do. Did you know, for instance, that distant galaxies send radio signals, or that black holes make sounds, or that there is a whole lot of water just floating in space? These are just a few of the curious sounds and materials scientists have found in outer space. As time passes, in the past century, technological developments have seen us discover more information about space than in all previous periods. Welcome to Brain Bender's Solarium, as we explore interesting and mind-blowing facts about space. Number 1. Eyrie space sounds has been recorded by NASA. The Kepler Space Telescope records data as light that can be transformed into sound by NASA. To take signals from radio waves, plasma waves, and magnetic fields, NASA uses a process called data sonification to turn them into audio tracks to hear what is happening in space. The sounds range from ambulance-like voices to beeps similar to an alien spaceship making its descent. Number 2. Mars sunsets are blue. The first color photograph of a sunset in 2015 by the Curiosity Mars rover unveiled a shocking twist. Sunsets on Mars are blue. NASA stated that this is because the dust in the Martian atmosphere has fine particles that allow blue light to reach the atmosphere more effectively than extended wavelength colors such as orange, yellow, and red. Number 3. Space launching of things is wildly costly. Well, for example, to ship lemons into space, each lemon would cost you $2,000. You get some incredible figures if you divide the cost of a mission's launch by the cargo weight. Payload specialist and space station engineer Ravi Magashyam said that each pound of cargo would add up to an expense of $10,000 to ship into space. Since Orbital Science's Cygnus spacecraft's cargo costs about $43,000 180 per pound, and SpaceX's new carriers cost about $27,000 per pound, costs have skyrocketed. A 16-ounce bottle of water could rate anything from $9,100 and $43,000 to blast into space today. Number 4. Space is full of space junk. Like used rocket parts and dead satellites, space is full of junk. At around 17,500 miles per hour, these objects continue to circle Earth 10 times as quickly as a speeding bullet. The Space Surveillance Network, or SSN, keeps a record of who is responsible for how much debris is out there. 23,000 items larger than a softball are currently being monitored by the SSN. Space junk is unsafe because the chain reaction of items hitting each other may be caused by a collision resulting in a dense cloud of debris that will make spaceflight hazardous. The premise of the 2013 movie Gravity starring Sandra Bullock and George Clooney was this kind of catastrophe. With 3,990 bits of debris as of March 2018, the US is responsible for most space junk. Russia, with 3,959 bits of debris, is accountable, followed by China with 3,893. Number 5. The footprints of Apollo astronauts on the moon could remain to up to 100 million years. The rocks of the moon erode every 1 million years at a rate of 0.04 inches. This suggests that the footprints of the astronauts on the moon from the 1969 Apollo mission may remain there for 10 to 100 million years. Number 6. Space can get quite hot sometimes. Temperatures may exceed -454 degrees Fahrenheit in the darkest portions of space. But if you're in sunlight orbiting near Earth, space is a pretty warm 250 degrees Fahrenheit. The spacesuits of astronauts are white to reflect the heat they feel while floating above the Earth. Number 7. Most planetary systems are different from ours. Scientists hate to stress something special about our situation in the universe. Special is impossible, although typical is possible. But a headache was created by the discovery of planets around other stars at the last count. More than 3,500 have been confirmed. There is none like our own. There are great compact planetary systems in which all the planets encircle closer to their parent star than the Sun does to Mercury, that is the solar system's innermost planet. There are planets of Jupiter and mass that may have moved inwards. there are planets similar to those of comets in extremely elliptical orbits, and there are planets that orbit around their stars the wrong way. Given that planets are thought to congeal around a newborn sun from gas and dust swirling in the same direction, this latter finding is particularly difficult to understand. No one knows as yet if the uniqueness of our solar system has anything to do with the advent of the human race to recognize it. Number 8. The ISS is the size of a football field. The ISS, i.e. the International Space Station, is 357 feet in length and just 3 feet shorter than an American football field. It almost weighs 925,000 pounds and is the single largest structure ever to enter space created by man. 230 people from 18 foreign nations have visited the ISS to perform study and carry out missions. Number 9. Without a spacesuit, you would last only about 15 seconds in space. Dr. Ryan Stone, Sandra Bullock, has a hard enough time in gravity to live with a spacesuit. It would take mere seconds to asphyxiate without a spacesuit. Since the pressure in space is not present, the air expands. This ensures that the air will expand and burn through the tissue within the lungs, and your body can use up all the oxygen in your blood in around 15 seconds in such an intense environment. Exploded capillaries, loss of bowel function, boiling blood, and bloating would involve other gruesome effects of uncontrolled space exposure. Number 10. The universe is about 95% invisible. There is such an amazing discovery that it has yet to trickle into the consciousness of most working scientists. That is, all science has been studying for the past 350 years is only a minor universe contaminant. Atoms are only about 4.9% of the universe's mass energy, the kind of stuff me, you, stars, and galaxies are made of, and of that, only half has been spotted with telescopes. Invisible dark matter is about 26.8% of cosmic mass energy revealed because it tugs at the visible stuff with its gravity. Hitherto, unknown subatomic particles and black holes made in the Big Bang include candidates for what makes up dark matter. But there is dark energy in addition to dark matter, which accounts for 68.3% of the universe's mass energy. It is unseen and fills the whole of space, accelerates cosmic expansion, and our best theory is that quantum theory, by a factor of 1 followed by 120 zeros, overestimates its energy density. Number 11. The outer space is not an empty space. You might imagine, in addition to the obvious stars and planets, that the surrounding space is absolutely empty and a perfect vacuum devoid of all matter. It's real that space is a vacuum, but it's an imperfect vacuum because it comprises a low density of particles, including clouds of interstellar dust, cosmic rays, and space plasma. Number 12. There is a captivating cause why space seems black. Since stars are everywhere, you'd think they should fill the sky with light, and you'd think that there would be no dark space at all. This concept is known as the paradox of Olbers, that is named after the German astronomer Heinrich Wilhelm Olbers, who raised it in 1823. That is, if the universe is static, infinite, and timeless, then a star should inevitably strike everywhere you look. It turns out that the universe is neither eternal nor static. The universe has been found to be expanding by Edwin Hubble, and the thermal radiation left over from the Big Bang places the universe at 13.8 billion years old. Since certain stars have not been around long enough for their light to reach us, we don't see stars in every direction. Number 13. The same temperature everywhere in the universe. The Big Bang's fireball heat was stored up in the cosmos. It had nowhere else to go, but today, it is all around us. The strange thing is that its temperature is exactly the same everywhere, i.e., 2,725 degrees Celsius above absolute zero, or minus 270 degrees Celsius as the lowest possible temperature. And if we imagine cosmic growth running backward, like a reverse movie, we discover that portions of the universe on the opposite sides of the sky were not in contact today when the radiation fireball broke free of matter. In further sense, since the universe's birth, there has been insufficient time for heat to pass between them and the temperature to equalize. Astronomers correct this by maintaining that the universe was much smaller than predicted early on, so heat soon got around. The world had to go through an original blast of superfast expansion known as inflation to get from this smaller scale to its present size. Number 14. The Milky Way galaxy has tens of thousands of black holes in the center. There are tens of thousands of black holes in the middle of the Milky Way, according to a recent report. It's difficult to observe black holes on their own since light is unable to escape from them, but they communicate when combined with the star in a way that allows scientists to use X-rays to detect them. The research argues that there are hundreds of black holes paired with stars and 10,000 single black holes in the middle of the Milky Way. Number 15. More than 1 septillion stars are probably in the universe. Around 100 billion stars are in the Milky Way galaxy. If you multiply that by the total number of galaxies, i.e. 10 trillion, which is a modest guess considering the observable universes, you get 1 with 24 zeros after that, i.e. 1 septillion. David Kornreich, an assistant professor at Ithaca College, said that the number is possibly much too low, because as technology progresses, many more galaxies are likely to be found. Well, space travel is exciting and fascinating for many people. Astronauts are great people who have the right stuff, who have been rewarded by being able to travel in space at amazing speeds with wonderful views of the moon, the Earth, and the planets. Several have written about the suspense of launching G-loads and the miracle of weightlessness.